Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Please be seated. We will be beginning the TV9 What India Thinks Today inaugural session in just a few minutes from now. Request you all to kindly be seated. We will be starting very, very shortly. Thank you.
The countdown for News9's big event is over. The News9 Global Summit is about the new India that is recognized as a rising economic power and a major global player. The theme of the summit is how India is poised for the next big leap. The What India Thinks Today Summit is being organized by the TV9 Group. And this edition of the summit is simply unmissable because the keynote address will be delivered by none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The summit starts from today and will continue through the 26th and 27th as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you all to kindly take your seats. We will be beginning with the inaugural of TV9 What India Thinks Today very, very shortly. May I request you all to kindly take your seats.
हेलो 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 Hello, hello, check. Hello, check. Hello.
Check, check, check. Check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check.
For those who have just joined us, the countdown for News9's big event is over. The News9 Global Summit about the new India that is recognized as a rising economic power and a major global player. Right on your screens, the MD and CEO, Mr. Barun Das, along with Union Minister Anurag Thakur. The theme of the summit is how India is poised for the next big leap. The What India Thinks Today Summit being organized by the TV9 group. This is the second edition, and this edition of the summit is simply unmissable because the keynote address will be delivered by none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself. The What India Thinks Today Summit starts from today and will continue through the 26th and 27th of this month.
Ladies and gentlemen, requesting all of you to settle down. We will be beginning very shortly. Requesting all those walking around to please take your positions. Please find chairs to sit down. We will be beginning in just moments from now. Requesting all of you to please take your seats.
check, 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 check. ठीक है? Check. Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, just about 2 minutes or so left before we start the inaugural of TV9 What India Thinks Today. May I request you all to kindly take your seats. Unfortunately, a lot of cameras here and the view gets obstructed if people don't take their seats. So I'm humbly requesting everybody to please find chairs and sit down for clearing the camera field. Thank you so much.
The second season of TV9 Network's What India Thinks Today will begin just in a short while from now. The theme for this year is India poised for the next big leap. Several politicians, celebrities and dignitaries will be a part of this event. They will voice their opinion in this 3-day global summit. The News9 Global Summit is about the new India that is recognized as a rising economic power and a major global player. The theme of the summit is how India is poised for the next big leap, and the What India Thinks Today summit is being organized by the TV9 group, and this edition is unmissable because the keynote address will be delivered by none other than Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get started with the inaugural of TV9 What India Thinks Today. Please give it up for your hosts for this evening, TV9's Neha Khanna and Krishna Kumar.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the second edition of TV9 What India Thinks Today. India's mega thought fest is back indeed, and it's bigger, bolder and brighter this year, mirroring the new India story, really, isn't it, Neha?
Mirroring the new India story, no doubt about that. It is going to be action-packed, I can tell you that, for the next 3 days.
Yes.
And of course, the one big thing that everyone is looking forward to is the keynote address, which will be delivered, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow evening by none other than the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi.
Ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause for that. Of course, we're all building up towards that, but let's not forget, we have some very special guests already in the house. We're going to get them on stage, get him on stage to be specific. But quickly, before we go for that, we are going to tell you what India Thinks Today is all about. What India thinks about is very important at a time like this, which is a moment of greatness for India. India is on the cusp of greatness, and it is thought platforms like this, global thought platforms, hosted by none other than the biggest news network of the country, isn't it, Neha?
Absolutely, the second edition of TV9 What India Thinks Today Summit, the News9 Global Summit that has brought together, even in the past, the best of thought leaders from all walks of life. And ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to witness over the next 3 days is going to be truly special. We're going to have newsmakers, we're going to have thought leaders, we're going to have policy makers, and like I said, the biggest name of them all, the one man everyone wants to listen to, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, will be in our midst to deliver the keynote address tomorrow evening.
Right, and we have, before we get to that, we have a bunch of people that we are honoring with our Nakshatra Samman Awards tonight. And today, the inaugural of What India Thinks Today, second edition, is all about India's soft power. And right now, we are counting down to those awards. We are counting down to some very interesting sessions we have in store, beginning with a big name who is going to be part of the first session. That, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than, okay, we're going to hold on and not tell you the name of the person.
Let's not give it away so early, Krishna.
Yes, absolutely. We have to build it up to that. We have a very special guest already amidst us who will be taking the stage in moments from now. But through the course of the evening, we will be discussing all about India's soft power, from the vibrant tapestry of Indian movies and music to India's vibrant tapestry of sporting achievements. Bear in mind, once upon a time, India was just a cricketing nation. Not anymore, because of some very important efforts taken by some very important gentlemen who's made sure...
Who is in our midst right now.
Who's our midst right now, who's making sure that India wins accolades, India wins goals across sporting arenas, and India has been celebrating that as well. So we will be talking about our achievements across sporting arenas, movies, music, and all the soft power that is pushing brand India forward on a global platform, isn't it, Neha?
In fact, Krishna, we are not just calling it India's soft power, we are calling it India's smart power.
Yeah.
Because that's really how it is now. Gone are the days when Bollywood was India's biggest global export. We have gone way beyond that. Our musicians, our artists are doing us proud. They're winning Oscars, they're winning Grammys, and ladies and gentlemen, in our midst, we have today at least two gentlemen who've won multiple Grammys for India and done us proud on so many occasions.
Right. Before we get to all of that, let's begin with where we have to begin. We are a team of over 3,000 people here at the TV9 Network putting together the What India Thinks Today Summit. But one man has been leading us from the front, and that is none other than our MD and CEO, Mr. Barun Das. Requesting Mr. Barun Das to come on stage, and also please put your hands together for Shri Anurag Thakur, who also joins us for our first session. Requesting both these gentlemen to please take the stage. And requesting Mr. Barun Das to first present Shri Anurag Thakur ji with a stole. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause. Right. Please, requesting Shri Anurag Thakur ji to please sit down, and requesting Mr. Barun Das to please deliver our welcome address for the second edition of What India Thinks Today. Barun ji, all yours.
Thank you, Neha and Krishna. The Union Minister of Sports, Youth Affairs and Information and Broadcasting, Sri Anurag Thakur ji, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural. Today is the curtain raiser of the second edition of TV9 What India Thinks Today Summit. Over the next 2 days, we will be hosting several international thought leaders and cabinet ministers and industry captains discussing India's next big leap in the arena of geoeconomics and geopolitics. And most notably, we have the summit keynote scheduled for tomorrow evening at 8 p.m., which will be delivered by none other than the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. But this evening we are here to celebrate the curtain raiser with a subject very close to my heart. I must mention that this evening is going to be special because apart from glamour and glitz, it will be an evening of gravitas. You must have already spotted in the hall many well-known faces from the world of sports and entertainment. They are here tonight for a purpose. They are here tonight to discuss a bold vision for India, not as an economic or military power, but as a soft power. Our deliberations this evening will focus on the idea of soft power for hard gains. So what's soft power? A phrase used extensively these days. The American political scientist Joseph Nye defines soft power as a country's ability to influence others through attraction and persuasion rather than coercion and force. As he says, seduction is always more effective than coercion. Like the American dream is sold across the world to a large extent via Hollywood. Similarly, countries like Brazil and Argentina, they have earned a name for themselves in the world through their excellence on the soccer field. That is the context of soft power this evening. India has always been known as a land of yoga, Vedas, and Ayurveda, and more recently, as home to some most spectacular cinematic storytelling in the world. The home of Bollywood, but of late also Sandalwood, Collywood, Tollywood, all hail Nattu Nattu. At the same time, our prowess as a sporting nation is on the rise. While our cricketers have been doing us proud for some decades now, there are other sports where India is making its mark in the global arena, thanks to the grit, ambition, and tenacity of some extraordinary sports star, and the vision of our Prime Minister, and of course, the able administration of a sports minister. Badminton, tennis, shooting, wrestling, boxing, athletics are some such sports. Thank you, Anurag ji. Now, as India rises in the global pecking order, earning a place for itself at the high table, there is immense opportunity for India to add to this heft through excellence in sports, movies, and music. After all, the perception of India is the sum of how the world sees us. If we as a country create more winners, like powerful cerebral content and winning champions, then we can rise faster in the world order. We can make greater hard gains, be it trade of goods or services. Let us not forget that in 2016, when Israel and Palestine agreed to give peace a chance, it was at the behest of celebrities like Roger Waters of Pink Floyd, John Bon Jovi, and Cristiano Ronaldo. The peace may not have lasted, but people-to-people goodwill remains a far better alternative to bombs and guns. This evening, over several conversations, we'll hear policymakers, celebrities, sports champions, and brand gurus develop a roadmap to further burnish brand India. Of course, no evening like this one can be complete without some celebrations. So therefore, tonight we will also be honoring a few extraordinary men and women from the world of sports and entertainment with TV9 Network's Nakshatra Samman Awards. So ladies and gentlemen, we have an exciting evening ahead of us. Let's kickstart it right away. Thank you once again for being us here. Namaskar.
Thank you, Barun, for that. Requesting both Mr. Barun Das and Shri Anurag Thakur to please stay on stage. And before we go further, we have to talk about the sponsors for the day, isn't it, Neha?
Absolutely. Let's remind all of you that TV9 What India Thinks Today is presented by Poonawalla FinCore, co-powered by Zydus Wellness, Ultratech, Priya Gold, and Finolex Cables. A premier global platform that not just takes stock of India,